days. That's, if you divide that by 180, that equals 40. 40 years. My rabbi, Rabbi Cohen, taught in my school for 40 years. And in those 7,200 days, he only missed 8 days of class. 8 days. Imagine teaching or being in one place for 40 years, day in and day out, and only missing 8 days. And guess what? Those 8 days he missed, one of them was because his child was getting married, one of them because he had a bris of his son, and so on and so forth. Every single reason or time he missed, he had a reason. And yet, when he missed and he wasn't there teaching his students, there was clearly a fire burning inside of him, saying, how can I be missing this moment? Maybe this is the time. Maybe this is a time I will be able to influence. I started learning with my rabbi, Rabbi Cohen, in 6th grade, where in 1 year we got through all of Sefer Bamidbar, all of Shmuel Aleph, a tremendous amount of mishnayot. And when I look back at these notes that I had in 6th grade, I asked myself how, as a 6th grader, was able to take in so much knowledge. And don't forget that this class that I had was a class of 26 Detroiters. And you can imagine Detroiters, our school, has many different types of people, different religious levels, different smartness levels, and we were all put into one large classroom, and at the same time, Rabbi Cohen, my rabbi, was able to teach each one of us to our specific level. Because he realized the importance of every moment, and he realized the importance of every child and every kid. Rabbi Cohen used to take time out of his day during lunch, after school, just to learn with me and my brothers, for those who were interested. Last year, Rabbi Cohen passed away, a role model, and it was 3 days before Rosh Hashanah. It was a big hit. It was very difficult, because one of my tremendous and greatest dreams was to leave yeshiva after a year and go back into school, take my makom in davening right next to him, and learn and continue learning in that same Gemara that we left off on above Metzia and Daf Bet Amud Aleph. Except when I walked into school at the end of Shana Aleph, he wasn't there. And I looked at his shtender, and I thought to myself, he's not there for me to learn with. What a tremendous opportunity lost. So then I remember every single one of the lessons that he taught me. And every single time I open up a piece of Gemara, I open up a Mishnah, I open up anything, I think about Rabbi Cohen. And so he is learning. He's learning right next to me. All the time. The Mishkan was made out of many different types of materials. Wood, copper, silver, gold, etc. There were 2 things in specific made out of silver. And what were those 2 things? The adanim and the vavim and the hooks. I want to focus on the adanim. Adanim. The adanim were these sockets which held together the walls of the Mishkan. Probably one of the most important pieces of the whole entire Mishkan, the foundation maintaining and making sure that the sanctuary remained erect. And Rabbi Cohen always used to ask us, why were the adanim made out of silver? All the other parts of the Mishkan, the wood, the gold, etc., those were all given by voluntary donations. What was the only thing that was given by an involuntary donation? A machatzit shekel from each and every individual in Am Yisrael. Those silver coins were then melted down and used to create the foundation of the Mishkan. The foundation of Hashem residing amongst us. The foundation of Hashem within us. This lesson Rabbi Cohen taught over and over again. The importance of each individual. The importance that each person has in Am Yisrael. Each person can be that silver socket holding up the Mishkan, holding up and being a conduit for Hashem to reside amongst us. Another tremendous lesson that Rabbi Cohen used to teach us was the concept of a ger. Many times in the Torah it talks about ger. What's the big deal with this ger? Why does the Torah focus so many times on ger? I think over 36 times it mentions it. is because Rabbi Cohen always used to say a society is defined by how they treat people who are different than them. And if the lowlife, the ger, the person who comes from a different place, isn't treated properly, then you know there's something wrong in your society. Somebody who's different, downcast, thrown away, your job is to take him, pull him in, and bring him in. Yet again, machatzita shekel, the ger, importance of every person, individual. The importance of time. I was eating lunch one day, and I just, happened to start conversation. Rabbi Cohen spent every second he had learning Torah. And I went and I asked him, what should I learn? He said, you should learn Mishnah. I said, why? He said, because it shows you, or it's a summary of all of Judaism. The Gemara is based off the Mishnah is based off the Torah. It really takes every single aspect of Judaism and gives you a little bit of a microcosm of Judaism, how it relates to every single aspect of the world that God gave us. So I decided to embark on this journey of learning Mishnah. But midway, doing a Mishnah a day, something like that, maybe even Mishnah a week, I asked Rabbi, how do I know that I learned Mishnah? And he told me this one, formula to allow me to understand whether I can take this Mishnah and move on to the next one. And I think it's a tremendous yesod in life. And that is what and why. You read you read and you look at the text in front of you and you ask yourself, what does it say? Simple. Mordechai method. What does it say? And translate. And if you don't understand, read it again. And read it again and work hard to understand it. And then you ask yourself, why? Why? What does it mean? How does this affect me? How does this affect my general view of Judaism in the world? And how does this allow me to understand the world that God gave me better? And this what and why is what I use in almost every aspect of my life. And with this, I will tie all these 3 points together. If there's one lesson that Rabbi Cohen imparted to me, and me being a living student of his, meaning I am his Torah Shebaal Peh, and what I try to embody and pass on is the importance of everything. Every moment. Every second. There's potential and there's opportunity. Every person has something to give and something to get. And these two things together is what Rabbi Cohen taught me. And it's not just in the sphere of Torah. When I left Rabbi Cohen's house, right before I went to yeshiva, he gave me 3 lessons. First lesson he gave me was to be a walking role model of what it means to be a Torah-observant Jew, and my actions should show and exemplify the wisdom of the Torah. Next one is never to accept superficiality. Always ask what, and why to understand everything truly that you're doing. To realize the importance of every moment and capitalize on it and use it to your max to understand everything. And the last one was to enjoy life and be curious. So I leave everyone off with this lesson. We should all realize the importance of every moment and every person. Everything we do, we should always ask what and why. And we should continue to be curious in every single walk and aspect of our life. We should grow in lives of meaning and purpose. And he also very much knew how to have a very, very good time. You walk into a classroom and there was a smile on his face, and you left classroom even if everyone had failed that test, there was a big smile on his face because he knew tomorrow we were going to come back and try a lot harder. And with his quirky jokes and his tremendous insight into humans and to his students and to everyone around him, he always strived to make everyone feel like $1 million. He always strived to make people achieve their potential. And he always strived to make people always ask what and why, and to be curious about the beautiful world that God gave us. And so, as I finished mishnayot in his memory, I can't help but think what tremendous world Hashem has given us. Looking at every different aspect of the mishnayot, you kind of get to see all different facets of Judaism. And I'm beginning to, take a little bit of understanding of the tremendous world of Torah that my rabbi and all the